From the heart of Europe to the world, this is RTI.
It certainly is. RTI Radio Actress International. It's the Christmas week. And we're going to have lots of fun today. I'm Eric Wiltshire at the base of the beautifully snow-covered mountains. They are beautiful. -11 last night. Ooh, needed your long johns on. And over there basking in, apparently, it's allegedly possible that tomorrow will be one of the hottest days in Christmas time for the UK. Hello, Mr. Banks.
Hello, is it going to be hot over here then?
Apparently so, yes.
Blinking heck, eh? What a wonderful thing. We wasn't hot over whatever that summer thing was. And it's now going to be hot for Christmas. How lovely, wonderful.
It is, isn't it? Christmas. Oh, sure up. It's Rachel this week. Suitably controlled, chaperoned, tied up probably. No, that doesn't come out right.
Whoa.
No, stop it.
You said it.
By her mother. It's Rachel and Mum down in Melbourne.
Hello. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Mummy.
Hello, Mum.
Uh-oh.
You see, you've adopted 2 more people now.
We have, too.
Yeah, we're all moving in with you.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll just all squeege over on the couch. It'll be all right.
Will it?
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
now Rob's lost weight. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Very true.
What's wrong with
Very
that? I'm
true.
saying he's lost weight.
Well, that's very true. That's
Not
very
my fault.
true indeed, actually. But anyway, boys and girls, it's going to be a show with a difference. I have chosen nothing today in terms of news. I have just chosen surprises for the team, and they've got some stories standing by as well. But we're going to have little surprises today. Unfortunately, they will get to see who some of the surprises are before you. But, you know, that's the way life goes.
Excuse me, can I do a bit of housekeeping just before you continue?
Go on.
I think it's only fair that the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and everybody else knows exactly what the situation is. Eric is quite right. Rachel and I were tasked with coming up with 4 positive stories each for this show, just to make sure that it ran smoothly and everything was fine. Unfortunately, when I cleaned my machine, I threw my list away, and Rachel hasn't even bothered.
Marvellous. Marvellous. Surprise number 1. On the line, it's Petra.
Hello.
Hello. It is. Say hello to
How are
Rach
you?
first.
I love you. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Petra. I missed you, you know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss her.
You missed trouble, yeah?
I miss her like a headache, Rach.
No, I missed my partner in crime.
Hey? Is there something you want to share with us?
No, just girls have got to stick together.
Yeah, of course.
Why is my brain in the sewer today?
I don't know.
It's been there for a week now.
It's been there for nearly 90 years.
Excuse me? 90 years?
And I've left a bit of dignity for you. He's 93, you know, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
93.
Here we go. Well, that's all right. That's all right then. Because when I was in the hospital, the doctor said I wouldn't have any problems for at least another 25 years. So if I'm 90, I'll get a telegram from the Queen.
Yeah, if you get a couple.
Yeah, I would.
Say, can you return that jewellery you took from the palace?
Anyway, listen, that reminds me. Before we talk to Petra, apparently the Queen has gone over to Sandringham by helicopter because she's got a bit of a cold, but she's all right. She's getting better.
She is.
That's what
I
she
don't
said.
have a helicopter when I've got a cold.
No, we
Should I
normally
send
just.
a helicopter to you?
Yeah.
No, I have to do with my Bentley.
Oof.
Very rude about my Bentley last week on the internet thing. I'll say. Anyway, Petra, how nice it is that because you've not spoken to me. Do you not speak to me anymore?
Why not? I write to you.
You do. We
You
played past the
didn't,
parcel.
you didn't
didn't we?
read the last love letter I sent you?
I did because I said
Oh,
no.
well,
I
then.
said something, and then she
You
sent
didn't
it
have to
back
go
me,
public with
so I
it,
sent
you
it
know.
back to her.
Is this 18 certificate or what?
There's nothing wrong with little packages.
Oi!
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
They don't understand, Lee. You know, they don't understand us young ones.
I know, that's it. When you get to their
Ooh.
age, Petra, and it's that,
You
and
know,
that's
being
why they keep
20
apart, isn't it?
is so nice. And they're
Yeah.
just jealous of not being 20
Jealous.
anymore.
They're jealous of as two people, two separate entities in this world. You and I make a beautiful couple because I'm beautiful and you make up the couple.
Okay, as you say.
Oh. Now, Petra, you've got to educate the world.
Oh heck! I've been through this.
What do you mean, oh?
Uh-oh.
You have.
Am I capable of it?
So again?
Am I capable of it?
I couldn't possibly comment.
Exactly.
Yes, because I'm not going to. So anyway, your job is to educate people on the weird scenario in Europe as opposed to Britain and other parts of the world, because Sunday is Christmas Day around most of the world. But not here, is it?
No.
So what happens tomorrow then?
We are a day ahead of you.
So
what does that mean?
Yes.
That we are better people, so we get presents earlier than you do in Britain.
That's right. Why do you have Christmas a day early?
I think it's to do with religion, you know.
Yes, it is.
With what? It's
Religion.
to do with what? Yeah.
It's to do with religion.
Yeah, but why do we think it's on the 25th and you think it's on the 24th?
Well, because you are different all the time. You drive on the left. You should. You just want to be special all the time, but this time it didn't work.
So
Whole Europe is on the 24th.
Right, so what's a typical... you're now educating the world, and I apologise to everybody from the Slovak Tourist Board in advance. What is a typical... Oh, no, it's your house, that's not typical. Well, okay, what is a typical Slovak day tomorrow?
Oh, I've got angle.
Well, mostly those who actually do go to church and everything, they don't eat the whole day.
What?
Right. Until 6 o'clock in the evening, they actually waiting for the Christmas dinner.
What?
Only
Don't eat horses.
Whoa. Excuse me. We are coming to your house tomorrow, Petra. Are you telling me I'm going to starve until 6?
Yes, of course. But you didn't hear the bit when I said only old people like Eric.
Oh.
Yeah.
They can have something.
What can they have? Like a tuna sandwich?
Yeah, for example.
Oh.
But no meat. No meat. And tuna is not meat.
You cut the
Well, I
bread,
don't
the
like
crust
it.
off so they don't hurt his teeth.
Should I pre-chew it for him?
That is so gross.
That road again.
That is so gross. So come on, what's a typical dinner that we're going to have at dinner time?
Well, you're going to have sauerkraut, cabbage soup
Yuck.
with mushrooms and sausage and whatever, which you don't like, but you're going to have it anyway. And it's followed by potato
Followed
salad
by a chorus of flatulence,
and
I would
fish.
imagine.
Do you not have a turkey?
No. We have
No,
fish.
why?
Well, because we're not English.
But Bernard Matthews has grown millions of turkeys, and and Slovakia don't help. That's
No,
that's like
you rather
that's like
next
the
day.
EU.
Next day we have duck, which is better than
Duck, you have a duck.
Yeah,
Who said duck? What's coming in the window?
That's a stupid joke.
All right. So hang on. Just recap on the main course. Petra,
Yeah.
recap on the main
sauerkraut,
course.
cabbage soup, and potato salad with fried fish.
Fried beef.
And
Fish.
no beef, fish.
Fish.
And usually there are different traditions all around
bacalhau.
Slovakia, and you can have like honey and different.
On your fried fish.
Yeah, we fry fish.
Honey on your fried fish.
No. It's you have like a waffle, and then you put a little bit of honey.
You've learned that off Eric,
Like
haven't
a
you? Waffling.
tradition that you should be healthy for rest of the year. And if you cut the apple half, and it shows like a little star, so it brings luck into your family, and it's all different little bits and pieces.
Right.
Different families.
Right. So when do I get me presents then?
After dinner, straight after dinner, we go to Christmas tree and we open our presents. So we don't wait till the morning.
Ah, right. So I'll ask the question.
You're not getting anything.
Oh, no.
That solves that problem.
Yeah.
That's a bit, doesn't it? I suppose.
Can I tell you a quick story about what happened to a friend of mine at Christmas?
You have to be quick because we're running on time.
Okay, very quickly. My friend, he will remain nameless because I can't remember his name. He's called John. And he bought his children 2 bikes for Christmas. Not 2 bikes each, 1 bike each.
Right.
And he kept them in the cellar downstairs until it came to the day where it was Christmas Day and he had to present them to his kids. Anyway, before that, we'd arranged to meet in the pub. And we had lots and lots and lots of alcohol to drink, like lots and lots of beer. Into the cellar to get the bikes. Like an idiot, decided to carry both bikes up the stairs at once, right? So that not one of his children would be disappointed. They both see the bikes at the same time. Got halfway up, slipped and fell down the stairs, smashed both the bikes, got in trouble, sat down to have his Christmas dinner. And this is disgusting. Don't anybody listen to this. This should not be said live on air. He then threw up at the Christmas table all over the turkey.
Oh. That's gross.
He'd be homeless in about 10 minutes if he lived with me.
Poor old dog.
Right, okay, listen. Boys and girls, I've got to tell you a story. Going to tell you a story.
It's not the time limit.
Okay. Very quickly, Petra's been working, especially when I was in hospital. She basically kept RTI going on her own with a bit of help from Martina. So from everybody here and all the listeners, Petra, thank you so much for all the work you've done this year. It's been fabulous. And yeah. Round of applause or sandwiches. No, they don't do sandwiches here.
Round of sandwiches.
You might be hungry.
Plate of drinks, please.
Yeah. Well, at least I got some coffee today, which I had to make myself. And have a lovely Christmas and a super New Year, Petra. And we'll speak to you in the New Year. You take good care of yourself.
I will do. Same to you. Merry Christmas to all of you.
And the same
Merry
to you,
Christmas,
my dear.
Petra. We love you.
I love you too.
Oh, God, get a room, you two. See you later. Take care. Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. That was our lovely Petra who's now disappeared off. And my next surprise coming in is a very old work colleague of mine in one form or another. And it has to be said that this is a professional broadcaster. If he answers his phone. He does as well. Now, be careful, Mr. Miles. We are live on air, and we are. Turn your video off. We don't need to see your face as well, dear. Jonathan!
Don't you?
How are you?
I'm very well. Hello.
Hello.
How do you do?
Now, for those that don't know, I first met Jonathan in the late 80s, early 90s, I think.
God, did you? Yes, you probably did.
Yes, when he was on the Great 208 Radio Luxembourg, and he's now not on the radio, and he should be on the radio. So any bosses listening that want the most camp gorgeous radio presenter on the planet, who's not currently, he's resting at the moment.
Thank you, darling. Well, not totally camp, you know. I mean, I can do other bits, you know.
Yes, like
We
what?
can hear it in your voice.
I beg your pardon.
I'm saying I can tell from your voice you can do many different parts, and he's being very churlish.
Well, you know, he's a Gemini. You can't trust him.
You're a Gemini as well.
No, darling, I'm your opposite. I'm a Sagittarian.
Oh dear.
I'm Piscean.
Oh God! Oh, this is going to be an absolute disaster. Before we start, now
I'm sorry, Jonathan. I don't think it'll be a disaster. I think you'll do extremely well. The man's very rude to you.
Thank you, sir.
So that's Leigh, and in Australia we've got Rachel.
Hello.
God,
Hello.
this is talk about international.
Well, we are, dear. We are, dear. It's what we do. International wireless, don't you know?
So you and Leigh are in Slovakia.
No.
No, I'm in the Midlands of the UK.
Bub, how fab.
Mancunian, really.
Oh, we love the Manchesterford.
I know. We're cool, aren't we?
Yeah, very cool. I used to work on a radio station called Key 103, which I spent many happy times in the bars there.
That's the problem with Manchester. It is one big bar.
Typically drinking mother's ruin.
It never ruined my mother, it's ruined my liver.
Yes, I know that one.
So, Jonathan, when you came back from the Grand Duchy, where did you go?
Okay, I've got to think back because I think the gin has addled my brain. Any coloured lights you can see, it's me coloured lights, by the way. I've got coloured lights. There, look.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. There's a problem, Jonathan. It doesn't work on the wireless.
Oh, I thought this was a Skype call.
No.
Video.
No, we are live around the world to all sorts of other radio stations, and I'm not going to say how big we are because that would be boasting, but we're not far off of 208 actually.
Fabulous. Well, okay. Well, I've got coloured lights going just for Eric's sake. Where did I go? So the end of Luxembourg was at the end of 92, wasn't it?
Correct. 30th of December.
Okay, so I remember Chris Moyles and I, who at the time, of course, was Chris Holmes, because I was Miles and they didn't want him to be Moyles. So, and I was going, well, we're just going to stay in Luxembourg. So there was Chris and me and Jodie and everybody else, and Tony, and who else was around? I can't remember. Anyway, those spring to mind.
Yeah.
And we were all going to stay in Luxembourg. Anyway, that quickly fell apart because I think we all got offered jobs. And I went to Bristol to work for GWR, who then brought in Australian consultants.
Oops, this is going to go wrong.
Sorry, I know. I mean, I know you've got a lovely, beautiful country there, but Australian radio consultants have always done my head in.
I absolutely agree with you. Really awful, dreadful, appalling stuff.
Oh.
I mean, I just think it signalled the death of well, it was one of the things that signalled the death of British radio, not everything. Or at least the ones I work with. Very sweet people, really, over a gin, but get off our radio. So I was there for 2.5 years, and then I went to Manchesterford and ruined my liver.
Right.
Yeah.
I did breakfast in Bath from Bristol.
You did breakfast show in the Bath?
In the Bath, to Bath and Bristol.
Right.
And then after that, so that 95-ish, I kind of went to Manchester and did everything, and then they offered me the Late Show. We did a thing called The Quiet Storm, which was great fun for quite a while. And then somebody who is adorable but is now in Australia, English in Australia, Dave Shearer, bless him, he said to me, Milesy, you talk too much. He said, I'm going to put you on overnight. I said, you're not. You can pay me off, which he did.
Oh,
and then I was out of work again. So that was 1998, and then a great friend of mine called Rick Horton, and also Nick Martin, of course, who was on 208.
That's
you
right.
may be listening currently in Bonn. Hello, darling.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Looking forward to Tenerife and your slow cooker, which is bringing in his luggage to save us money from going to eat out in January. No, I'm joking. Mind you, with Nick, you never know. So Nick and Rick, I think, and I can't remember which, conspired to get me to Dubai. And I went over to see Nick in 1997 for a holiday,
That's
not
right.
thinking that I would ever work there. a year later, there I was going, why am I in the Middle East? And I had a marvelous time, and I did camp it up quite a bit and got away with murder. But it was a marvelous country before it really took off to be the fabulous, sensational place it is now. And then I came back on holiday in 2001, to cut a long story short, and they fired me by email, which was a joy.
Yes.
It then took me 18 months to get back on the radio. I was out of work for about a year. I then went to work for a call centre in London, which was interesting, and managed about 3 months. And then an old friend of mine who now works for Global said to me, well, why don't you come and work for me? I've got 3 weeks' work. And I said to him, you don't want me. I said, I can't wear a backwards baseball cap, and I'm 40. He said, oh, come on. So I went to work for the lovely Mike at a station called Invicta in Kent, which is now Heart.
Yes.
And I was there 3-4 years, so 3 weeks turned into that. Then they networked, I think. But at the same time, I was working at KMFM, which is a nice station in Kent, and also Capital Gold a bit. And then I ended up on a station. I close my eyes and I try and think, and it's called Time FM. Mm-hmm. And then I was on the air one day at Time FM, and I got an email because of my best friend Neil Greenslade, who runs Nation Broadcasting from Wales. He had spoken to his old boss called Jim, and Jim was consulting with BBC Newcastle. Yep. And I get on email going, do you want to have a chat? And that was 2007, and I did 8.5 years in Newcastle until they went, we fancy a change.
Oh no!
And then and then after that I was like, oh okay, and so I moved down to Kent to live with my parents at the moment at the grand age of 55.
Oh right, dear.
And I thought, I don't know what to do now. And a job with a phone company came up, so I did that and hated it for 7 months, but I did it nonetheless. And I am currently a tiltart, as they call them, at a large electrical retailer.
I'm sorry, that is so befitting.
I know. And I have to say, after doing some of the things I've done, my ego was a bit like, I can't admit that I'm working in a shop. But I have been having a marvellous time, strangely enough. Uh-huh. I mean, I take my hat off to anybody in retail, especially this time of year. Some of the customers are appalling. But we've been having a good time. But now I think it's probably time to spread my wings again, but Lord knows where.
Well, there's lots of people listening. I would actually suggest and the funny thing is, I was watching a video yesterday, and I'm damned if I can remember his name now. He consults all over the world, and in this video, it was the 10 points to make a radio show work.
Francis Curry.
Thank you very much indeed, because I remember Francis from Radio Caroline days, and most of what he was saying I ignore anyway, because I always make it up as I go along. But one of the things he said is you must have personality on the radio.
Yes, but the trouble is that they want personality, they get it, and then they try and knock it out of you so that you become what they want you to be. And this is one problem I had in Newcastle. Right. My boss, a lovely man, said to me at my audition in 2007, I want a quarter of the energy you've just done on that Late Show audition.
Right.
And I mean, I have to say, I think BBC local radio is a wonderful thing. It does tell the stories that are missed by everybody else. Mm-hmm. You get to meet some amazing people and do some great things, and I did. And it made me realise that I can or have got great empathy and sympathy, which I can, use on the air.
Right.
and also made me realise that I'm quite instinctive.
Right.
But it's very difficult when you're hired these days. I mean, most of the radio bosses are about 7.
Yes. but hang on, you're ruining my link now, darling. So just chill a moment. Going back to Francis's video, he did say the next big thing will be proper personality, and I would say to any radio boss listening, if you want personality, get on the phone now and hire Jonathan.
Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. Because I have to confess as well, I've stolen one of your strap lines.
What's that?
The zit on the nose of Europe.
Did I use that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you did. Jonathan used to say he was the zit on the nose of Europe, which I've rechristened to Leigh.
He's now. I am now the zit on the face of the nose of Europe.
So listen, guys, if you've got a job for Jonathan, book him. It'll be well worth it. And I'll tell you what will happen. Your ratings will go through the roof. So if you're a commercial radio station, you'll make lots of money.
Very kind, Eric.
Which is what it is. Listen, Jonathan, thanks for joining us today. Have a lovely Christmas. Don't slap too many of the clients coming in. Keep the little lights flashing, because I can assure you there are huge amounts of people out there that would love to see you back on the radio yesterday.
Yes.
Well, darling, that's very kind. I'm quite willing to do England or mainland Europe.
Well, I love it, Jonathan.
You should do it with an Australian accent. That'll get you a job.
Now what is it? The Australian? No, it's New Zealand, isn't it? What happens when the Poms arrive at the airport? What's the joke before I go? What's the wine? Oh, I can't do it now.
You've been on the gin again, haven't you?
Oh, heck.
Jonathan, we've got to go. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you. Have a lovely Christmas. See you soon, mate. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Jonathan Miles there. Now we're going to have a little surprise for Rachel. And when we do this, hopefully this will work. And hopefully said person will say something along the lines of, "Hello, Munchkin." That's a clue. And is he there? He's not there. Oh no! He said he was going to be there. We'll leave it ringing for a minute. We've got surprises for everybody. You see, that was one just for me. There's one for Leigh coming up as well.
Oh heck!
Oh yes.
I've got a surprise for both of you. I found 4 stories.
What?
I found 4 stories. That's my surprise to you too.
You're very quiet, darling.
Have you got 4 stories now, Rach?
I've got 4.
Right. That's disgusting, because I've got none and you never told me that you were
don't worry about it. Anyway, said gentleman is now with us. We are live on the radio, so behave yourself, sir. We won't say who you are, but your typical statement to Rachel typically is, "Hello, Munchkin." So I think you should do it in audio style.
Hello, Munchkin.
Oh, that's Steve!
Well, that's given it away, hasn't it?
Just a little bit. Are you going to talk to him, Rachel? What?
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, look, I'm dangerously well, as always.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being dangerously well. If you're double dangerously well, that's frightening.
What are you doing? What's going on? What are you doing for Christmas?
Well, we have a storm here at the moment. They've named it Barbara, and she's blowing a gale at the moment. No, I've got family here. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing. So it's nice, you know.
That's fantastic. What? Hang on a minute. This is so odd and strange and wonderful all at the same time.
Well, such is the wonder of Skype and international radio. You're in Australia, and I'm in Northern-ish Ireland, so it's amazing.
Steve,
it's amazing.
I'll tell you what. You can talk to Rachel again in a second, but just a potted history of what you've done on the radio, Steve.
So I've got a large anorak sitting here drying as it's storming. And my new book will be available soon. Everyone else is publishing a book. I'm still waiting for Paul Rusling to send me a review copy, me being a journalist. I know, Uncle Eric, you've got a copy, so Mr. Rusling, if you're listening somewhere in deepest, darkest Yorkshire...
He is, actually, Steve, he is listening because he's going to be following you.
Well, Paul, don't forget your mates when the free copies come. That's all I will say.
Read the review of it on the Consumer Watch Foundation.
Oh,
really
God.
Good.
Well, yes, I'm busy running a few radio stations. I'll plug those before the end of this.
I love it. Go on, Steve. Give us a little history.
Well, what sort of history do you want? Do you want the potted history or the lengthy history?
Well, because of time, we'll have to do the potted, I'm afraid.
Well, I've worked in radio this year for 40 years. I started off working for a radio station called Radio Invicta, which was Europe's first soul station in London. And then I worked in Ireland for 30-odd years, both Southern and Northern Ireland, running radio stations. This was back in the 80s and 90s, and also in the 21st century as well. And that's basically what I've done. I started off as a disc jockey, ended up running a radio station here in Northern Ireland during when the Troubles were on, and we made a lot of money and got a lot of listeners out of it as well. Of course, the radio landscape has changed, as we all know. But, yeah, there's still a scope even here. It's interesting. I mean, there's a whole lot of conversations going on Facebook and else, social media, about the need for change for radio. And it's very interesting that we have a lot more broadcast, that's television, we have a lot more media, we have the internet, we have people have an opinion on everything, but has the quality improved with more of them? As a song goes, 300 stations are not much on.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's what I've done up to now. I mean, I'm not a boastful person, which is thankful. There's plenty of people in this industry who will do it a lot better than I will.
Yeah, we're rubbish at selling. We are really rubbish at selling ourselves, aren't we?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm Irish, so it's sort of second nature. It's easier. But I think it's, I mean, you do, Eric, I mean, you see people, and it is very much an interesting game now, because when we started off and when Paul started off, and, anyone that's done anything to do with journalism or radio or media in general, we had to learn it all, and we learned from some very good people, but it had to be right. And I think that's interesting. Listening to a lot of internet radio, I mean, I do a bit of that. And there's a lot of it on, but a lot of it doesn't sound very good to these ears anyway. I mean, people having a shorter attention span. I mean, that's when I started in radio, people, well, they didn't have a valve radio, but people actually listened on the radio. Now people listen on whatever device. I mean, I'm talking to you on my mobile phone via Skype. I mean, can you imagine doing that 40 years ago?
No.
Or even 30 years ago. So, I mean, what I've tried to do, no more than yourself, because I have an interest not only in the broadcast side, but I also have an interest in the technical side. Like yourself, I've tried to keep up with that. And I think that's really where the future is, because I think it's going to... radio and media eventually is going to narrow down to a few people, and people like ourselves, can go into places and say, right, what do you want us to do for you? Because we're dedicated to what we do, same as Paul Rusling is. I mean, Paul's got an interesting history both on the engineering side, the laser and all the rest of it, and the other international projects he's done, and yourself with the start of satellite radio and television and the traditional broadcasting side. And I think I was very lucky that I did a journalism course about 20 years ago, which gave me another skill to take things on. And I'm trying to, because I moved back here, and I'm looking to go back into that sort of field as well, because it's interesting. I mean, the world is not going on.
Oops.
service it is, and they need people who actually can go out and look and get a story,
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, we'll be finding out what the different celebrations are at Christmas in different parts of the world today. So I think you and Rach should have a quick chat about what it's like in Ireland.
Yes, tell me what happens on Christmas Day.
Well, in this part of Ireland, I mean, Islanders have a reputation for people enjoying drink. But that's all about extended family. That's how it basically works. Here, the bar's only open for a few hours on Christmas Day. Most people take a couple of days off, and they have their turkey and ham, and we're having gammon in my house this Christmas.
Lovely. Lovely.
But so what do they do in Australia? Does everyone go skinny dipping on the beach, or?
Not if they don't want to get stung in a delicate place by a jellyfish, but yes, we get together and normally we have a cooked dinner with turkey and all the veg and lovely pudding, etc. But this year we're going cold because it's going to be 37 degrees.
Ouch!
So we're having a very cold meal this year, but I'm still doing the hot steaming pudding.
Lovely. Now listen, Steve, time for the commercial break for you.
Right.
Where do we hear you now?
Well, I have a number of radio stations on various www.cbsfminternational.com. There's also www.radionovainternational.com. And, of course, my internet fixing business, which is at www.wisecom.org.
And you do actually go out and do all the technical stuff, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very
modest. Very modest man. Listen, Steve, thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. Good luck with the future. Have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy the whole festive thing, and we'll keep pushing the smartphones, my friend.
Exactly.
Lovely. Steve, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, do we go here or do we go here? I think, Rach, I think we should talk to somebody who knows a lot about Mr. Banks. And I think you should question this person about Mr. Banks. What do you think?
All right, I love doing that.
Would you? Well, in which case, we will bring said person in, like now, there, and with a little bit of luck and a tailwind, and if he's answering his blessed phone, which is the whole thing is dependent on people being around their phones, and he's not on the phone. Oh, he is.
Hello?
It's Dook.
How'd you do?
How'd you do?
Who's that?
It's only the Duke.
Who's he? Never heard of him.
What do you mean, who's the Duke? I've never heard of you.
Rach, don't tell
How you doing?
Look, Rach.
Not too bad, how are you?
He's just been Facebooking me. I've been talking to him on Facebook. He's a double-dealing, dastardly person.
Is he really? Yes. Well, there you go then. But Rach, don't tell Leigh. Duke can dish the dirt on Leigh.
It's not the first time he's done that.
I don't know if I've got a shovel big enough. I might need a JCB.
Go on, Rach, off you go.
Oh, hello, Duke.
Hello, Rach. How are we doing?
Oh, we're doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm just
enjoying. Funny.
Tell me the most radio appropriate. This could be really short. This could be very short. Please tell me the most radio appropriate anecdote that will really put Leigh in it.
I can't say anything on her.
Remember, I know the story of the manly scream.
Let's not. Hang on, it was a manly shout.
Yeah. Dude, it's all right. I'll cut him off if he gets stroppy. Don't worry about it.
I can't believe he's just brought that up.
Just a warning. Just a warning.
I'm keeping quiet then on that one.
Chicken! Come on, you've got... Look, now, Duke, come on. You are an English gentleman.
Yes.
And a young lady has asked you a question. It would only be right and proper for the English gentleman to answer the lady.
I'm just trying to think of one that's radio friendly. You've put me on the spot.
I did. I apologise. It was on the spot.
Should I tell an anecdote involving the Duke that involved me and how he embarrassed me?
No. We want the Duke to say it.
Tell him about when I was in the radio studio and the ghost hunting team were out and they were supposed to phone me up every 15 minutes to go live on the air to tell us what was happening in their ghost hunt. And what happened, Duke?
We all run off. Hang on, it wasn't... There was different things happening that caused us not to be able to phone you every 15 minutes. Some that were
busters.
Right, okay, now Duke, come on, you've got to have one little story because I've got to squeeze 2 more calls in and I'm short of time. Come on, drop him in it.
With Leigh,
yeah.
I've not got anything, to be honest. He's really good.
I love you. He's a
superstar. I know. Well, if we're going on about the funny accents, I know once. No, I can't say that one about when he was in the limousine, can I?
Yes. Yes, you can clean it up.
No. No, I can't mention the time he was in the limousine. There's the time when a Yellow Pages got involved on a ghost hunt. There was one of those.
Tell that one.
Can I tell that one? Yeah. But I'm going to get you in a lot of trouble, though.
That's all right. That's the point.
Yes, we don't mind. We don't mind.
You can tell it.
Is Andrea listening?
She's not here at the moment, dear.
Oh, is she not?
You will survive.
Oh, well, you've got time to hide. There was a ghost hunt where Andrea was live on camera, and Leigh left Andrea in the room. But as he's walked out of the room in the dark, he tripped over a Yellow Pages. Now, because he was that annoyed and couldn't say or shout, he decided to pick the Yellow Pages up and throw it. But what Andrea didn't know was that he threw it into the back of the room where she was, and she thought it was a ghost in the room.
Panic, man. We've got the video of it and everything. Yeah, absolute panic.
I think that's
the bird flying across the room.
Oh, brilliant. Duke, you have given me a Christmas present that's brilliant.
I'm sorry, Andrea.
Now, Duke, what are you doing for Christmas?
Spending it with family. I've got a carol service tomorrow night that I'm going to.
Right.
Watching a live brass band, so that should be good.
Yeah.
I went out with a carol service.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean, absolutely. Good boy, Duke. Good boy.
So, yeah, the carol service is within the pub.
Well, lovely.
So that should be good. And then on
love
Christmas Day,
your accent.
Spending it with family.
I do too, actually. It's really lovely.
Right, we got
from London, you know.
Oh, I know. Duke,
I've tried my best to speak properly as well today.
Lovely. It's mellifluous.
Yes, absolutely. Well, at least you are, and it just exposes Leigh for what he is, really.
What's a fraud?
No, just a bad accent.
A phone book chucker.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, Duke, thanks ever so much for joining us. Have a really super Christmas and a great New Year, and we'll see you in 2017, mate. Take care. All the best.
Have a good
all the best. All the best to you all. Bye now.
Bye now. And from there, we move. We're staying in the north of the UK. Because we're going to the other side of the country now, over to Yorkshire with a bit of luck. And I can see his pretty face on the screen, and he's live. I can see he's got a little green thing by him. So with a bit of luck, the man himself is going to be here, Paul Rusling.
Yeah, I'm here. Right,
hello, Mr. Rusling.
Right, Bushy Tails.
There you go. Say hello to Rach.
Hello, Rachel. How are you down under?
I'm good, Paul.
Excuse me. Excuse me, you're supposed to be a professional broadcaster.
It's a little bit hot. It's a little bit hot down under.
It's quite warm here actually. It's a little bit drafty outside, but it's quite warm. It's kind of mid-50s, upper 50s. We're pushing
like
60
Morecambe and
here.
Wise.
Well, it's interesting because this Christmas my mother's making a return. She left this mortal coil a couple of years ago, and she's back again this Christmas, and her name is Barbara. So we've got Barbara whistling through the rafters and all kinds of stuff here.
Oh, the storm, yes.
Yes.
It's a really bad storm as well. A friend of mine's coming over from Holland on the North Sea ferries to Hull tonight, and he was a bit worried about the weather, and I had a look, and they've got Storm 10 and Violent Storm 11, which is fine for the Hull ferries. You know, they just don't move. It's a big cruise ferry, 50-odd thousand tons.
Yeah.
But I had a look at the weather forecast for the west coast of Scotland. They've got the hurricane force 12, and you know where it says seas are rough and very rough? There are 3 stages beyond there. There are high seas and very high seas, and then the next one, which is what they've got on the west coast of Scotland on the way, and that's phenomenal. And I've never been in a phenomenal sea before.
No,
So,
that is a bit scary.
My heart goes out to those guys on the west coast of Scotland.
Yeah, too right they do. So what are you doing for Christmas then, Paul?
Oh, it's a family Christmas. I've got my daughter here and our granddaughter. We've got a granddaughter, and she's 1.5, so I guess this is her first real Christmas that she'll be enjoying. And of course, as some of you know who've read the that book about laser, she was my proofreader.
Was she really? But she was also the editor of, I think, the last version of the Who's Who in British radio.
No, that was my daughter. I'm talking about my granddaughter.
Oh, right.
No, Dawn. Oh, Dawn. Dawn's very clever. Dawn's a lawyer nowadays, but she was the editor of the Who's Who. You know, it was her idea, and she did all the legwork. Yeah, very clever girl.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a lawyer.
Yeah, she's a lawyer. She's a lawyer in Scotland, in St Andrew. She's not only an English lawyer, she's a Scottish lawyer as well. She's qualified to both of the bars. So the dual-barred lawyers in Scotland are pretty good. But, you know, I mean, after my history of running a few bars, you wouldn't expect any less than her having 2.
Yeah. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you and Mr. Banks haven't met each other.
We haven't yet.
We probably have, I would imagine. But we weren't behind bars,
We're going to meet soon, though, aren't we?
Oh, we weren't behind bars.
Well, yes, I've spent plenty of my time behind bars. I work in
So anyway, I've got them up. They're on their way down from Scotland to here for a proper Yorkshire Christmas, and then they're going to load me into a car or a hearse. I'm not sure if it'll be a hearse or not. We're off up to Scotland, the land of the kilts, for the Dukes and the Hogmanay.
How spooky! Because my son lives just round the corner from you in Beverley, where we're going to be visiting, and then we're off to Glasgow.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, if you break down in your Skoda, we'll give you a push.
That's brilliant. Oh, that is phenomenal. I love it to bits. Listen, Paul, we are very short of time, which is terribly sad.
But Eric, there's one thing you've forgotten, that all the RTI listeners have got a big Christmas treat on Christmas Day and Boxing Day.
This is true.
Wall-to-wall laser, isn't it?
It on Sunday the 25th and Monday the 26th.
It's Christmas Day and Boxing Day to us. It's St. Stephen's, you know, who, of course, was Eastern European as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will be reliving the good old Laser 558, a no-repeat show. God, I don't know if I have to work hard for that one. But it is wall-to-wall, and if you love 80s music and great presenters, you will just have a field day. You really will. It'll be fabulous.
Well, I'm going to get it twice because I'm going to have it on live, and I'm going to record it and listen to it in prosperity. Wherever it.
Scotland.
What?
In
He said
Scotland.
he was going to listen in prosperity, so I said, is that in Scotland? Just a
Well,
little go.
You realise, Lee, that as you'll realise, a Yorkshireman is just like a Scotsman, but with the generosity removed.
Who's got the funniest accent? Here's a straw poll for the people who are listening. Who's got the funniest accent? Me, Paul, or the Duke?
Hey, I can do a proper Hull accent if I want.
That works for me. Right, we're going to move on. Paul, have a lovely Christmas. Thank you for joining us. A super 2017. Love to all the family, and keep those books coming.
I certainly shall. There is another one on the press right now.
Really?
Oh, good.
Oh, yes. But you'll have exclusive news of it early in January.
Brilliant. Oh, fabulous. Really, really fabulous. Paul, thanks ever so much again. Thanks a million. Have a lovely Christmas. Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Okay, and Richard too, and you, Lee. Bye now.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And talking of Scotland, as we were talking to Scott about Scotland. This is the man that keeps locking me in a cupboard.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
This is the man
Harry
that...
Potter.
Yeah, this is the man that also hurtles abuse at Mr. Banks, which is totally justified, of course, dear listener, because everybody should hurtle abuse at Mr. Banks. And we'll let Rachel do the sort of hosting bit for this one as well, because we've only got Kilty-K now.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Get back in your cupboard.
He let me out the box.
I don't know.
Cupboard.
Hang on, we've got feedback, Andy. We've got feedback from you. We can hear ourselves coming back through your monitors.
Oh, wait a minute.
You naughty Mr. Kilty.
Is that better?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's not right. We'll have to shut up for a minute, and then we'll just let Rachel and Andy have a chat. Go on, Rach.
How are you, Andy?
I'm fine, thank you very much, sweetheart.
That's good. What's new? What's up for Christmas?
Well, Eric let me out the cupboard.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. I think it was something to do with me incarcerating him inside a box.
Yes.
Please tell me the story.
Exactly. No, this is perfectly true.
He did, didn't he? He put me in a box.
Well, he wouldn't get me. He asked me to come to RTI to bring my show, and I said yes, Eric. That would be lovely. And he put me in the cupboard, and then he locked the door, and then so I had to think of a way to try and redress the balance, so to speak. So I went to the hospital and kidnapped him and put him in a box, and I've been feeding him sort of carrots and stuff since last Thursday.
The only thing is, he was having his teeth done. So where were you putting those carrots?
Oh, I don't know what you end up putting them in. I just seen an opening and I just shoved.
You could have done an entry.
I don't know. This is getting serious now. Are you feeling okay, Eric? Did I do you any damage?
I'm still talking in a very high voice.
Oh, right. Maybe that was not the right entry then, was it?
And not only that, boys and girls, he's also been nasty to Mr. Banks.
He has. You're a very, very nasty man. You're very guilty of being kilty.
It's not my fault. I was raised to hold a grudge.
No, honestly, out of the blue, I get a message off him saying, if you want that Mr. Wiltshire back, you better send me loads and loads of money. Like that, in a Scottish accent, what I just did. Yeah, and then it started implicating me in it. He started making me kidnap him.
You an accomplice?
It's joint responsibility.
I think that's where it started, Andy.
I had to go for plausible deniability as well, because it seems to be the norm. If I say it was your idea, then I can get off and you can go in the cupboard.
I'll go in the cupboard. I've not been in the cupboard for ages. I came out of the closet a while ago, and I've never been back in the cupboard.
I heard that, Lee. I did hear that you came out the closet, but
I know.
I was too busy talking to Donald Trump. Donald Tiny Hands.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Trump.
Yeah. Well, anyway, boys and girls, Andy will be along in about 5 minutes' time.
Back in the cupboard.
Yes.
Yeah, get back in the cupboard.
Get back in your cupboard, lad. because otherwise you can't do your programme in about 5 minutes. And
Coming with me. I'm going to just hop, skip, and a jump, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much for having me on, and Merry Christmas, RTI.
well, listen, mate, seriously, absolutely superb show. Merry Christmas, and more importantly, Merry Christmas to that angel that married you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
She nice.
I can't
She's
respond.
lovely.
Can you say something nice?
I can't. I would only implicate myself in further conflict.
In your cupboard with you.
Her hand.
Oh, my Lord. Andy, thanks ever so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you
mate.
very
Take care. God bless, mate. All the best. Take care.
Bye,
Happy,
Rachel. Bye-bye.
Happy Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's our Andy. Now we've got to find out what Rachel's doing, apart from having a cold salad.
Well, you know, my mum's here right next to me, and we haven't had a Christmas together for years. It's been a long time. So
How did she manage to avoid it so long?
Oh, she's just lucky.
We're just never in the same city.
No, we're not. And so she and my stepdad drove over the other day, and they're staying with us, and then tomorrow she's going off to my brother's, and then we're all getting together at my brother's place on Christmas Day, and we're going to have lots of lovely food, and we're going to stay in the air conditioning because it's been diabolical outside. But the pudding I make is it my great granny's?
It's my own recipe.
Oh, it's yours.
My own.
Careful.
Mum doesn't make it anymore, so she handed the torch to me. Oh, actually, I snatched it off her. But it's proper English pudding.
Oh.
With the brandy, and I flame it.
Oh.
Ditch the pudding, just have the brandy.
No, you know
Stupid
I'm a
boy.
teetotaler, Uncle Lee.
It's what, darling? What did you say?
Nothing.
I'm a teetotaler, Uncle Lee.
I can't understand people who drink tea. Honestly.
Right, Rach, we've got to ask, because we've only got about a minute and a half to go, and we have to ask the most important burning question of the year.
Yeah.
Lee.
What?
What have you brought the lovely Andrea for Christmas?
Yeah.
I brought her, right, are you listening?
Yes.
I think this is lovely. This is lovely. And I did touch upon it last week, but I have bought her a new windscreen for my Bentley.
You're so divorced on Boxing Day.
You are so dead.
She had to drive around in a faux Bentley with a broken windscreen. It was like shattered, and you had to look through little diamonds of holes and things like that. And she was so uncomfortable, and the air had come in through those little holes and mess up her hair, and her little eyes would weep because of the wind in them. And so I thought, well, the best thing I can do for her is buy her a new sheet of glass, which will keep the weather out and keep her warm in the winter.
Rachel, time to say goodbye.
Goodbye, Rachel. Goodbye, Mum. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Lee.
Goodbye, world.
We'll see you next week, boys and girls. Don't worry. Have a lovely Christmas. Don't go into the drinking bit. You know what I mean?
From the heart of Europe to the world, this is RTI.
And now we've got rid of all those radio stations all around the world. We have to come back to us again, because he's just like that before, because he hasn't got back in his box yet.
And he?
No.
He's such a naughty man.
He's not in his cupboard.
He's not in his cupboard. He's not
I can't
indeed.
do Scottish.
I could at one point, but I can't anymore.
No, it's a funny thing, isn't it?
You all talk funny. All them visitors on our show tonight, you fellas all talk funny.
I know. I can do Australian now.
Can you go on?
I'll have to think of something to say in it, but we'll be back in a few seconds.
You haven't got many seconds.
All right. No, I can't say. No, I can only think of rude things to say. I'll have to do it next week, because I only think of rude things like dingoes, dongers, and stuff like that. It's disgusting. Yeah. That's just the way my mind works.
It's always the same, mate. It doesn't vary at any point in the year.
It doesn't. All I can see is dingo dongers.
Just say something like, "That's not a knife. This is a knife."
That's not a knife. This is a dingo's donger.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, listen, again, million thanks to both of you for this year. It's been fab, absolutely fab.
Yeah, so fab.
Apologies to the listeners for our little indulgence on Christmas
For the last year.
for this particular show. Have a lovely Christmas, and I do say this with absolute sincerity. Please don't drink and drive. It's stupid. And, you know, what comes at the end of that is not nice. Have a lovely Christmas, a very safe Christmas, and enjoy your time with your family. See you, boys and girls. Take care. Bye-bye for now, because it's time for the dreaded Kilty-K.
From the heart of Europe to the world,